Hello folks, Donnie here, also known as Phrekwenci in the gaming circuits. I noticed a number of posts online recently looking for Zappa info, so I decided to put this little video together dealing with accent core material. I've been using Zappa since its debut in 2002. With all of this experience, I'd like to think I'm knowledgeable enough to create a guide to help other players. That being said, let's rock. In the most general sense of character descriptions, Zappa is a multiple stance character, which basically means he has access to different movesets depending on the stance, or in his specific case, the possession he currently has. Dog, Sword, Ghosts, and once he has 8 orbs, Row. The first 3 he could summon at random during the match. He also has a 5th stance that Zappa players call Naked, when he doesn't have a summon. I'll be separating this tutorial by stances and also splitting the Naked section in half. The first half of the Naked section will deal with universals, moves that Zappa always has during the match. The second half will deal with Naked specific moves. Before we go into attacks, 2 of Zappa's key elements are his backdash and his run. His backdash is fully invincible except for the last frame. It is also one of the fastest in the game, making it a great defensive tool for getting out of situations quickly. His run is also unique, as it allows him to run underneath attacks because he stays very low to the ground. Use this offensively to evade projectiles and other attacks and punish your opponent. Now, let's get to the attacks. His standing punch is nothing special, so we could skip that for now. Standing kick is special, it has lower invincibility and juggles on counter hit. So if you think an opponent is going to try a low attack, throw this move out and get them airborne. His crouching punch is low to the ground like his run, but not an actual low hit. However, his crouching kick is a low hit and also moves Zappa forward a bit, but Zappa's body isn't as low as the standing punch. Weird, I know. Jumping with punch isn't too special, except that it's jump cancelable in the air. Jumping with kick gives you some more range than punch, but it's not jump cancelable. Lastly, on the universal normal attacks is his forward punch. Some Zappa players tend to get this move by accident after running in and getting punished because it has more startup than standing punch. However, forward punch is a very useful attack, and learning how to use it will be beneficial. First, it has upper body invincibility. It also hits low and will juggle on counter hit. You could think of it like the opposite of standing kick, but it also has one more property. It's jump cancelable. So basically, if you get a counter hit using this move, you can go into an instant air combo at any time. Generally speaking, you want to confirm the juggle with another move that can jump cancel, but it's good to know you have a one-stop shop to get you there too. Zappa can throw the opponent using forward or back and hard slash. You'll want to get used to throwing the opponent into the wall for a small wall bounce and opportunity for a combo. His air throw is quick, but sometimes leaves Zappa at a recovery disadvantage, depending on the height. Speaking of throws, Zappa's insta-kill is also a throw, so you must be close to the opponent to connect with it. If Zappa has tension, he also has access to other moves at any point in time during the match. One is his Force Break, using a backward quarter circle and dust when he has 25% tension or more. The purpose of this move is to clear whatever possession Zappa currently has. This unsummon move grants an orb on hit. It is also one of the fastest overheads in the game. Zappa also always has access to his 3 centipede overdrive as long as he has over 50% tension. It will hit a max of 4 times and has some invincibility and will also clear the current possession. It's important to be familiar with the properties of all these moves more than any other. Since we went over the universals, we can get right into the naked specific attacks. Hitting the standing slash button when near the opponent isn't too special except that it's jump cancelable. However, if you have some distance between you, the far version of standing slash is very useful. It is a pseudo projectile with different properties depending on how the attack hits. The beginning of the attack is fairly straightforward, but if the puddle it makes hits, then the opponent will stagger. The puddle deals no damage but is considered a low attack. It is a great move to learn the spacing and timing of as the opponent gets up from a knockdown. Nothing too special about the crouching slash. Sometimes I'll use it if the opponent is directly above me. This will stagger on counter hit too, but good luck on actually connecting with it. Standing hard slash is almost useless. While it is an overhead, it has a ton of startup. Crouching hard slash on the other hand is a move I use all the time. It's a normal that deals chip damage and also doubles the dizzy multiplier, meaning the opponent will get dizzy quicker connecting with this move. It is also jump cancelable, and oddly can begin combos from any other normal move. So, for example, crouching hard slash into standing punch will combo with no problem. Forward hard slash is also an overhead, has a great deal of startup like the standing version, but it's only useful for connects or if you have tension to cancel it. Standing dust is an overhead like all the other dusts in the game. It also has lower body invincibility like standing kick. Something unique about Zappa's dust is that it's special move cancelable. No other character can cancel the standing dust into a special move. This can be helpful against opponents who assume that dust is unsafe for all characters. Crouching dust is a sweep and hits low, nothing special otherwise. Jumping slash is similar to jumping punch, just with a bit more range vertically. Jumping hard slash is meant to be used as a cross-up, as its hitbox is behind Zappa. Jumping dust is good to end air combos, and will wall bounce on counter hit. Get used to ending everything in crouching dust so you can confirm into your only naked tensionless special move, the summon. The summon is performed with a forward fireball motion and punch when naked, and if it connects with the opponent, it will knock them down and grant you 3 orbs toward Ral. If you're willing to spend some tension, you could try and summon twice by hitting with the first summon, and then canceling the recovery and summoning again. You might need to run up to the opponent after canceling the first summon to connect for the 6 orbs. Once you successfully summon, you'll have a possession. If you summon the dog, all the moves that use the dust button will no longer come out, except for the force break. Instead, the dog will attack depending on the direction used with dust. There are 2 types of dog attacks, ones that move and ones that don't. The dog can attack twice in a row, and the second or follow-up attack type depends loosely on the first or main attack. Main attacks that the dog doesn't move for can be the beginning for any follow-up dog attack. Main attacks that move the dog can only be the beginning for follow-up attacks that move the dog. Furthermore, some properties change for follow-up attacks. After many of the attacks, the dog will shrink and become vulnerable and unusable for a few frames. Let's go over the dog attacks. Hitting the dust button without a direction will make the dog extend its neck to hit the opponent. It's good for use in combos and block strings. If you attack the opponent with this move, the dog will experience pushback but otherwise won't move. The follow-up type is the same as the main type. Using down and dust will cause the dog to have a bite which is unblockable and gives you 3 orbs on hit, but has slow startup. If you attack the opponent with this move, the dog will experience pushback but otherwise won't move. The follow-up type is not unblockable, but adds tons of block stun. Forwarded dust will have the dog lunge at the opponent. This is good for pressure or moving the dog forward quickly. However, if the dog connects with the opponent, the dog will somersault backwards. Because of this, it is not advised to use this move with the opponent in the corner, because the dog will fly away from the opponent. After the attack while the dog is in the air, if you hit dust or forward in dust, the dog will lunge at the opponent again. Up in dust is the dog backflip, which attacks like an uppercut and gains an orb on hit. It is good to include this move with your air combos with the right positioning. The attack will also move the dog forward a bit, however, when hitting up, Zappa will jump. To prevent this, use this move in conjunction with a Zappa normal on the ground with a lot of frames like far standing slash. This will cover you well on the ground while the dog covers the air in front of you. Hitting back in dust will make the dog somersault backwards to retreat. While the dog is in the air, you can hit the dust button again to make the dog dive forward. The dive is an overhead and can be used with Zappa's low hitting normals to create unblockables. This is also the preferred move to reposition the dog while attacking the opponent in the corner. Again, this attack will move the dog, so you can only use moving attacks to follow up. The follow-up version of this move is not an overhead. One of the most important things to remember is that the dog can attack no matter what Zappa is currently doing. No matter if Zappa is attacking, blocking, stuck in recovery frames, or even being auto-summoned when dizzy. Here are some more things you could do using the dog. If you summon the sword, Zappa will have a few replaced normal moves. Remember, you still have access to the universal normals. Also, some sword moves have lag, which means that these attacks don't always attack in the same place in relation to Zappa. They depend on Zappa's momentum and movement. so there will be points where you run in with a sword attack and it will activate behind Zappa. Not all sword moves do this in Accent Core, and knowing which moves reset sword position will help your offense. Both close standing slash and far standing slash are very similar and can be jump cancelled, but both these moves have lag. Standing hard slash hits twice in front of Zappa and resets sword position. Forward and hard slash also has 2 hits. The first hit is an overhead and the second hit is a low attack. It's basically an automatic mix-up move, but it has lag and the hits may not combo. Down and hard slash is very useful. It has 2 hits and is jump cancelable, but it has lag. It is good to use this at the end of block strings because you can jump cancel the move and reset the pressure. It is also used to confirm air combos. Jump and slash resets the sword position, so it will always hit in front of Zappa. It's jump cancelable and frequently used in air combos or to outpoke the opponent. Jumping hard slash has lag and an FRC point, making it perfect for different types of cross-ups. For example, try jumping over the opponent with hard slash, canceling it, using the backdash, and then hard slashing again. In terms of special moves, a fireball motion and slash gives you the sword rush, which resets the sword position and gives you 1 orb on initial hit. Hitting the hard slash button after the attack will give you the follow-up attack, which only combos and counter hit, and 3 more orbs. The position between Zappa and the opponent is very important with this move. If you are too close, the opponent can punish the recovery of the rush. If too far, it won't hit the opponent. But there is a sweet spot that comes with experience where Zappa will have no recovery. There is an FRC point within the first part of the attack, which is one of the hardest FRC points in the game, because of this position sensitivity. The follow-up attack is heavily punishable if blocked. Try to have tension with this move as it helps with the pressure to cancel it. A backward half circle motion and hard slash will give you the sword swipe. On counter hit, it'll wall bounce. This move has an easier FRC point and will also lag. This is usually a ground combo ender or an air combo starter if cancelled or on counter hit near the corner. It'll also grant an orb on hit. A dragon punch motion with hard slash will give you the sword uppercut. A decent anti-air with some invincibility and grants 1 orb on hit. This move will reset the sword position and has an FRC point to make it safe. In the air, a forward fireball motion and hard slash will give you the sword somersault. This move resets sword position but has noticeable recovery when Zappa hits the ground. It is important to try to have tension when using this move to cancel it. There's one more thing to note in terms of attacks. There's a new Gatling with crouching kick and forward punch that can go either way for as long as you touch the opponent with either attack. However, the go-to Gatling with the sword is forward punch, crouching slash, and then crouching hard slash. If you connect, you can finish with either sword swipe or an overdrive if you have tension. On counter hit, the forward punch will juggle them and the other sword moves will confirm the juggle. On block, you can jump cancel the crouching hard slash and reset the pressure. Here are some more things you could do with the sword. If you summon the ghost, Zappa will have some replaced normals. All these new normals have lag, even more than the sword, so you must use them in conjunction with the universal normals to allow the ghost to catch up. However, if Zappa doesn't have any ghosts to attack with, he'll be stuck in the attack animation, open to be punished. With that said, it's important to try to always have one ghost or be confident you will have one soon if you don't. The close range standing slash is a fairly straightforward move and is jump cancelable, making it good for air combos. The far standing slash is a good poke and will stagger the opponent on counter hit, making it very annoying. Crouching slash is generally a terrible move and I avoid using it. The lag and hitbox combination make it nearly impossible to connect with reliably. Stick with the standing moves. Standing hard slash is similar to the slash version, just harder hitting. Crouching hard slash is a great move. It'll float the opponent and knock down on hit, or add chip and guard stun on block. Forward and hard slash looks a lot like regular standing slash, but it's an overhead and will automatically hit 3 times with one button press, as long as you have all 3 ghosts. If you don't have the ghost, be ready for a lot of recovery. Jumping with slash is hardly used unless comboing into jumping hard slash or some other cross-up scenario. Jumping hard slash is very similar to the crouching version, but adds aerial mix-up potential. Because of the ghost lag, you can have ghosts explode basically anywhere on screen. A fireball motion with any attack will give you the ghost toss, as long as you have a ghost. The trajectory of the ghost depends on the button you use and will grant 1 orb with each hit. After a tossed ghost hits the opponent is then cursed with misfortune, and random items will fly onto the screen and attack the opponent. If you are a new player, you might be frustrated about the items messing up your combos. Once you get used to the timing position of the items, you can use them to your advantage on combos. The punch version of the toss will send the ghost straight up in the air and then hone in on your opponent, dropping straight down. The kick version of the toss will bounce the ghost on the floor a maximum of 3 times and can OTG, meaning you can hit the opponent while they're knocked down. The slash version sends the ghost straight ahead, and the hard slash version sends the ghost in an arc. The dust version will send the kick, slash, and hard slash versions of the toss all at once, as long as you have all 3. If you only have 2 ghosts, it will just send the slash and hard slash versions. With only 1 ghost, it sends the slash version. You could also do any ghost toss in the air, and they also have FRC points. FRCing a ghost toss in the air makes Zappa lose any upward momentum he may have had and drops him straight down. The best advice I can give when summoning the ghosts is to throw them with a dust toss as soon as you get them and start pressuring the opponent. It will be near impossible to evade the dust toss, and you can collect at least 1 ghost back from it. Remember, if you have no ghosts, stick to your universals until you get a ghost back. A good tactic to use is to mash on the punch button, which will now Gatling into itself. The easiest way to misfortune the opponent is to use the crouching dust sweep and then drop a ghost using the kick version of the toss, since it will OTG. Stick with using the punch and kick versions of the toss as they are most annoying to avoid. If I have no ghosts and it seems like it's taking too long for them to come back, sometimes I'll unsummon and summon again to keep things moving. Here are some things you can do using the ghosts. After collecting 8 orbs during the match, the next time you command summon, you'll have a limited time to use Rao. Zappa will not lose Rao if he's hit, but can be removed using an attack that removes a summon. It's important to note that Zappa's hurtbox extends into Rao, so punishing a Rao attack by hitting Rao will hurt Zappa. Here are some moves to learn. There's nothing too special about the standing slash moves, just easy moves to start block strings or combos. However, his crouching slash is a very fast, low-hitting move, with excellent range and it's good for poking. Standing hard slash is a bit tricky looking, as it hits low and will cause a knockdown. It's basically another sweep. Crouching hard slash is also a bit tricky, as it hits low and it can also hit opponents as they jump in. It can juggle the opponent to begin any number of standard death combos. Forward hard slash causes a ground slide for OTG opportunities. However, it has some recovery, so you might want to cancel into a special move afterward. Zappa has a new dust attack with Rao, which is of course an overhead and can be special canceled just like his usual dust. Use this move in alternation with crouching hard slash, which has a similar attack timing but hits oppositely. Jumping slash looks exactly like the crouching version of slash, having a similar range but hits high. Jumping hard slash ground bounces on hit, allowing for the beginning of a number of combos. Also a good move for cross-ups. A fireball motion and slash will start the fireball called Darkness Anthem. This move also has 3 follow-up attack versions, but without the follow-up, it works well to keep opponents at block stun. Hitting the punch button after executing the move will cause the fireball to go straight forward, almost 1 screen length. Hitting kick will send the fireball downward and OTG if the opponent is knocked down. The slash version will send the fireball upward. A backward fireball motion in slash will give you one of the best uppercuts in the game, the last Edgar. While it is very unsafe on block or whiff, it is tied as the fastest uppercut in the cast of characters, has a huge hitbox, and keeps the opponent in an untechable state for a long time. Try to have tension before doing this move for even better combos. A half circle motion backward and then hitting forward and slash with 50% tension or more will have Rao send out the Bellows Malice Overdrive, which takes up most of the screen and increases guard meter heavily on block, or depletes tension if faultless defended, not to mention chip damage. And that's only on block. There's barely any recovery on this move, so you can surprise opponents by attacking them directly afterward. However, the area in front of Zappa is vulnerable, so practice getting the spacing right, or use his regular overdrive instead if the spacing is too close. When Rao is out, you'll notice your opponent's playstyle will change drastically, usually in a defensive mode. Use this to your advantage by rushing in and throwing them when they expect to block an attack. If you throw them into the wall, start a combo off the wall bounce. Otherwise, use the new standing dust and low moves to keep your opponent guessing. Here's some more things you could do at Rao. That basically sums up my knowledge on Zappa and Accent Core. If you have any questions, come down to the Zappa forum on dustloop.com or leave a comment on this video. My name is Donnie D'Amato, and Zappa owns your soul for free.